What is going on, people? After Hours on YouTube, my channel, Riding Fish. So I'm kind of going to play host today. I want to thank everybody for coming and being here. I do have a guest. I don't know. Is he even a guest? Is he a co-host? I'm his co-host. It's kind of weird. I've actually been trying to get this guy to let me co-host a podcast and like get out of the whole video element, do some podcasting. You know what? Without further ado, what the hell would it be if I didn't bring on Mr. Curtis Sawyer?
Hey, there you go.
Himself. What
How
is
are you,
going
man?
on, brother?
What's going on?
You know, it's the day before Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm thankful for all kinds of crazy shit, and one of them is you and I becoming such good friends.
Yeah. Very
We
grateful for that. Yeah.
we
Very
got on the phone today, started chatting it up, and then before we knew it, we're like, you know what? This is an after
Just do
hours
this thing.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Well, I
man.
mean, this is better. You got to have cranberry sauce. We're your cranberry sauce for the weekend. We hadn't had a chance to do this since what? It was, now over a month ago when we did the last one.
Was it already a month?
Almost. Yeah. I think it's 3.5 weeks this
Yeah,
week.
I know the last like 2 weeks, man, I've completely disappeared. I mean,
Right.
really, YouTube,
Where have you been?
it's called overtime, bro. I had a pretty good summer, and eventually you have to pay for that.
Yeah. Tell
So
me
I
about
think
it.
I
Tell
think
me
you and
about
I,
it.
we played
One of the
technical.
most expensive summers I've ever lived
Oh,
this year.
I
But
bet
it
you
was,
did.
again, we still are talking about that all the time. We are constantly talking about stuff we did, places we saw. I mean, now that we slow down so many weeks and months afterwards, because all the other dust is settled,
Yep.
around getting back here, it's like, wow, all the things we actually did this year. It's
Yeah.
amazing how much ground we covered.
Yeah, you were all over, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I put it, and in the description below, I put that we're going to talk a little bit about potential summer plans.
Yeah.
Very lightly,
Okay.
but we'll just start off with saying, sounds like we're going to be in Daytona, huh?
That's the plan.
Wait a minute. You cannot fucking back out on me again, bro.
I'm not out, bro. Watch this. I've got the RV. Ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
I got the RV. I've got the trailer lined up. Okay. I leave Colorado. I come to Minnesota. I gather up you and our buddy Larry Marshall from the V Twin blog.
Yeah.
Bikes go in the trailer. Mine's already in the back of the RV. We head down now to Daytona. Right? Okay.
Do I get to drive? Are you going to let me?
No.
You're going to trust me to drive that?
You are the driver. No. Considering that what you drive every day is like what, 14 feet longer than what this thing is, right?
Oh man.
Right.
When I went out to the Black Hills and I hung out with Tim Sutherland.
Yeah.
For a weekend and Lloyd Greer and stuff. And I became their driver too. They're like, hey, we got the truck with the trailer. Yeah, Fish, you're driving.
Well, okay, what was it? It was last December. We're out in the desert, right in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of no place.
Yep.
And what you're out there helping this guy back up a trailer because he was all jammed up in some parking lot.
That guy needed way more help than me. He was. Oh yeah, it was a disaster, bro. I almost was like, hey, get out.
Right. I saw you head up to the cab thinking, any minute now he's going to throw this guy on the asphalt. Watch that.
You're anonymous.
Snatch him out of the damn cab and throw him on the ground. Yeah. I see you have an adult beverage.
Yeah, I got a little proper 12 in here.
Excellent. AB has dropped in. Hello, AB.
We got lots of people in here.
Ricky Not So Martin. What's up?
Not So Martin, bro. Hey,
what's going on, man?
So anybody watching this video that either A, doesn't know who Ricky Not So Martin is, or by chance hasn't stumbled across his channel today.
They're not paying attention.
But he dropped a really cool video, and we'll talk a little bit about the Challenger anyway.
Yep.
But he talks about his experience at the Jack Daniels release and with his wife. And hey, Ricky, take your wife back off YouTube, bro, because we're gonna quit watching you. She's gorgeous. So
that's a gimme.
Anyway. But he points out that they have a electronic adjustable suspension on the Jack Daniels Challenger.
Correct.
Man, I wish more people talk about it. My understanding is, coming from people that are in the know, I guess, that it's going to be more standard on the 2023s and not the 2022s. I can't find it listed on a 22 anywhere. So
I think there's one more. I think there's one more thing that may show up that might have it on it.
Okay.
Okay. And then you probably won't see it as a standard feature in any trim level until 23. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to agree with that.
So you're
Everything that
thinking
I've
an
heard about it,
elite.
what
You're
I've
thinking
seen,
like an elite or something like another
correct.
like
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
bike or super.
Yeah. Look
Okay.
for a Challenger Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenger
And
Elite
that's
would be
not too
cool.
far away, I don't think.
I think that's been leaked with that they released VIN numbers for Challenger Elites.
Yeah, there's a okay, at the
I think there was
beginning of
something
each
leaked
bin,
about that somewhere.
there's a code that
Yeah, code.
identifies the manufacturer and the model, and that those codes have been released, yeah, and I have a copy of those. So I know what they've been at least introduced and what they've been able to now register.
Okay.
And based on that, I would think that with what you're going to see over the next little while, the prelude will probably be something like a Challenger Elite. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anonymous Biker USA is in the house. He asks, "Is this a Tough Mudder Champion channel, brother?" I'm not even close to that. I've done.
Don't even buy that, EB. He's pretty damn good at these things.
I've done 5. I have. It was so. This was the hardest one. I've done 5,
Okay.
and hands down, the Tough Mudder I did in San Bernardino, California, and it wasn't close. It was the hardest one I've done. It's my 3rd location, so I've
Okay.
done 5, and this is my 3rd location. So, my boy David Smith is in the house. You know what? I'm going to say it.
Mississippi.
As always, this guy is a huge supporter.
Is that right?
Of my channel, and I know he follows other people's, I'm sure, as well. I can't be that special, but he is a huge supporter of content creators on YouTube. Seriously. Matter of fact, I tried to meet him when I was on my trip in July.
Yeah.
I did shoot him a private message, and I said, "Man, where are you at? What's your address?" And by the time he got back to me, by the time we could make it work,
Right.
it couldn't work, unfortunately.
Hate when that happens. Story of my life most of the summer, but I hate when that happens. So, hey, check this out. I don't know. What did you want to talk about first? Because I wanted to talk about your new video.
With this chopper.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
78, it's a 1978 Harley, right?
It's a 1978 shovel head motor for the Heartbeat.
Okay.
And after that, he makes it. So it's
right
an
on.
aftermarket.
Okay.
What would it be called? See, I'm stupid. So a frame, right?
Yeah. Okay. It was a roller. Yeah.
He made it himself. I
Right.
don't really know all the details of the process of making it. I see the after, just like Indian. I don't know what the hell they do to make
the damn thing I write them, right? Yeah.
But when I start this, like, this is a 2-part video. This one was an induction, and it was an induction to what this bike is.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So first of all, it's a foot clutch with a jockey shifter, right?
How quickly were you able to get that figured out?
About 1 block.
Right on. Good. Okay, good.
I drive manuals. I felt very comfortable with it. The biggest thing was finding the friction point with the clutch. That was it. That was the biggest thing. Like any car.
Feather and figure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I drive semi. I feel like I had a major advantage going into this.
Mm-hmm.
But man, spoiler alert, and I hope everybody watches it and shares my video and all that good stuff.
Yep.
It was a mind fuck for 1 block. I'm like, whoa, foot, clutch. And then he was in my head. He goes, dude, you need to find neutral before you hit a stop sign. He's all, you need to go put your feet down. If something happens, if you're in gear, it's
going to drag you right through the intersection. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh man. So yeah, that first 2 intersections, the first one was really stressful. The second one, not so bad. I kind of decided I was going to run through that stop sign anyway.
Good.
But yeah, so it was incredible, and the kickstart was a kickstart.
That was the bike. Like if you were coming up where I did, I was kind of into metric bikes at the time, but that was the bike when I was getting my driver's license that everybody just lusted after, that gritty kind of street made Harley Davidson at the time. Oh, everybody wanted one of those. We all thought that we would be the coolest guys on the planet. And, a lot of guys found out that they're going to spend more time wrenching on them than riding them, but it was a lot of fun. It was still a lot of fun in those days, man. Oh man. How'd you like kickstarting? Fun? Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so it's real funny. So if you've watched my whole video, you'll watch me try to kickstart it the first time,
Yeah,
but I kind of like do a
yeah,
little pushback and I get a little kickback or whatever it's called.
right.
What is it called? Isn't that something like that?
Yeah,
Kickback?
kickback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
kickback. Yeah,
and he says, "Dude, you better be careful because that can hurt your knee later." Well, if you pay close attention, and I didn't notice it, or I don't
right.
remember like at the time, I'm
Okay.
watching it. If you pay close attention, later on, there's a moment I step off the bike and I start rubbing my knee. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
so we so
That
we
can
just
bite
we
you.
just we decided, I think I go, this is a suicide clutch. I think we should go with
Right.
that term. And then he was telling me that, he has a front brake and a rear brake, but only the rear brake
Yeah.
turns the back brake light on. So then I determined that the front brake must be the suicide brake.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lord. Well, I gotta watch the rest of the video because I think I got the like I said, I got into the beginning of it and then got distracted, but, um, yeah, I think did you enjoy the experience, though? It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? It was more mechanical, it was more tangible, more visceral.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
I
did you
you know I
just
ride
throw
with a
me off
helmet.
right there?
No, I ride with a
Okay.
helmet, right?
Yeah.
99% of the time. Well, this is one of the few times that I purposely, and it kind of made vlogging situation a little bit different than I normally do.
Okay.
I wanted the experience. Back in the 70s, people weren't wearing their full face icons and
No,
60 helmets.
no.
Let's
It
just
you
be
know,
honest.
if you yeah, and if you did wear one, they were thin, they were lightweight three-quarter helmets, okay? They really didn't amount to much, they kept the wind out of your ears.
Yeah, that's what I did.
They weren't gonna
I
do
put a
much more
beanie
than that,
on.
and, yeah, and most of the time you wore it without any kind of a face shield or visor or anything, so yeah,
Yeah, so I we have, a helmet choice law state here in
okay,
Minnesota, and
yeah,
I wore a beanie. I wanted the full expect and dude,
right on.
I
Good for you,
literally was
good for
digging
you.
bugs and stuff out of my
Yeah.
face, and the experience was something else, and I don't wanna give it away.
No, 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 no.
I've been
No, watch the
very
video, that's you're
I've
here
been
to
very
plug the
lucky.
video.
Yeah, I've been very lucky,
Yeah,
for all the years that I ride very modern,
right,
safe, smooth bikes, right? So for me to get on a bike that was completely, like I said earlier, like a mind F,
right,
and, it's completely out of my, comfort zone, and I purposely didn't wear a helmet, and, like, the
right.
shake of the handlebars and the slight detuned. I mean, we all talk about these Lloyd Greer and Lloyd's Garage tunes for my
Oh,
Challenger
yeah,
and the
yeah,
amazingness that this does.
yeah,
Yeah, this is a carburetor.
right.
Okay, this is slightly out of tune, just a little. Um,
Yeah,
but there is something to that, it's a different riding experience. And anyway, I'm
it
really
is.
excited.
And, and guys in those days that we talk about them today like the old scooter tramps, okay? But there was guys even before that doing that kind of thing. But in the 1970s especially, Harley Davidson motors had become so ubiquitous with American riders, especially the younger guys who were looking for something inexpensive. Because at the
Okay.
time, you could buy those relatively inexpensively compared to other bikes that were out there, especially used. So you could get into one of those and start making it your own in the
Yeah.
same weekend, and it really it resonated with a lot of guys. So even though we had all come up on metric dirt bikes, and even some of us had metric street bikes by that time, when the late 70s started to roll around, those bikes really resonated with people. They were really something. And one like that, there are much more you become much more connected to the bike.
Yeah.
You spend more time playing with carburetors and twisting and changing and fixing and repairing, and all of a sudden you become really kind of embedded in that motorcycle, and they become very engaging that way. You never want to give up on something like that, even if it is the basket case in the garage.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. In this video that I dropped
Yeah.
today, I think it
Mhm.
was,
Yes.
it hasn't been watched very much. It's pretty low, but go watch it and you're gonna see two motorcycle people. One of them being myself, that's very riding the Indian Challengers of the world and the
Right.
refined motorcycles of the world, and I test ride the BMWs and the Sportster S's, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The banter between me and a guy that built a fucking bike with his own 2 hands, you know? It's
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
I mean, the humor, it's fun. It's just an
It is.
interesting conversation.
Yeah.
I don't even write it in this video, just so everybody knows. I'm not trying to like lie to anybody, but we make jokes and it's fun banter. It's this is not. I make the joke all the time. It's this 12 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. This is fun. You'll waste more time on TikTok than this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ricky Not So Martin says, anytime he asks people about future plans, they say they don't talk about future plans. That's because, Ricky, you're talking to like the PR people. You need to like
Well,
you
yeah.
need to get into like a little lesser than the PR people, Ricky, and you all of a sudden learn a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, there's a second tier of people that would know things that you don't even know they know things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mr. Kevin Tatum in the house, my boy Kevin.
KT, what's up?
Man, I
Too bad.
cannot wait to get back with this dude. And I'm in
Yeah,
I'm in his region every week. But it's
You
for
are,
work.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm in Green Bay to Kenosha
Oh wow,
twice a week. Yeah, it's crazy.
wow. You do.
So we have a question here. Has anybody tried out the S&S K&N air filter? I want to make the swap. Just curious. You know what? So I have bought it. So
Okay.
I have the filter. I have a K&N.
Okay.
And I haven't tried the S&S, which that one you are giving one away. Yes.
Yeah, we're giving one away. As a matter of fact, that pretty much ends Friday at midnight.
Okay.
Go back, listen to the most recent podcast episode where we talk with Dave Semla from S&S. Now, he is the vice president of marketing there, but he's really involved a lot with the racing development side and promoting what they're doing with the Indian Challenger in particular. Well, all of their product actually. And he's the co-host of their podcast, the performance podcast that they do at S&S does.
Yeah.
Long story short is that, their filter is supposed to be about a 20 to 22% increase in flow,
Do we
which
know
the
what
bike is supposed to
K&N?
respond to really, really well.
Do we know what K&N's claims to be?
I don't, and I'm guessing it's got to be similar in most respects. But
And it's just the filter, right? It's not a different housing or bracket or anything
no,
like that. Is that
yeah,
correct?
S&S is an OEM fit. It drops
Okay.
right in. In fact, if you look at it real quickly, you wouldn't know the difference other than it says S&S on it.
You want to
But
know the
yeah.
difference between K&N, you mean, in S&S?
No, that and the OEM filters.
OEM,
If you sat the two of them together, you'd almost not know unless you were looking at them specifically, because they are direct fit, drop in and go. The big difference with the S&S one, and I think probably the same with the K&N, they made this out of a different type of a mesh, so you aren't in there every however often taking it out and cleaning it. It lasts a lot longer.
Right.
And he explained it. David made a good point, is not many of us want to take all of that apart because it's underneath the gas tank in the frame.
Well, that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking at K&N's website now. I don't see what they claim to be the more or less airflow. It looks like it says up to 50% more air.
Oh, wow.
But up to. I mean, is that like their standard clip that they write on every box? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have a K&N. I'm not opposed to S&S. Obviously, S&S makes great stuff. So if I could get my hands on one, I'd love to. But you're right. Changing that air filter is a son of a gun.
Oh, yeah.
I got my oil changed last month.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, real quick, if you guys can throw this in. They looked at me. They're like, we're not just
real quick.
in your filter. They're like, and by the way, can you not have gas in your gas tank next time? Yeah. So anyway, they didn't do it. Like, so I think you're right. I think it's the durability and the longevity of the air filter that probably pays for itself.
I would suspect that's the biggest part of it. And when he talked about the bike, and we talked again a little bit about, and we've almost talked it to death, but the ECU being so complicated in the Challenger and now in the 2022 Chief and going forward, the complexity of these things is only going to increase, right?
Yes.
So he talked about it in terms of how do you design something that works with the ECM instead of having to change the ECM.
Right. Like a new tune per se.
Right. And the big point he wanted to make with this is you can drop it in, the bike will figure it out in no time at all. And it shouldn't be an issue and should provide you with more low end grunt.
I think that's what people
Hmm?
Yep, and I think that's what people are starting to learn about this ECU, and you and I have been on this since the beginning.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a learning
Yep.
ECU, and it's all about
Yep.
requests of power, parameters set for air fuel. It's no longer twisting a needle trying to dial
Final.
it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It's telling it like, "Oh, hey, I know you want 16 per I'm gonna use fictional numbers. We know you want
Right.
16% for EPA reasons, but we're gonna bring you down to 13 for performance reasons, right?"
Right.
Now they can do that. And I mean, DynoJet just came out with their now bench tune.
Right.
And so you can
How
mail in your ECU to
what are you
DynoJet.
hearing about that? What are you hearing about that tune? Because I'm now hearing kind of this mixed bag of results,
Yep.
and I don't know if it's because somebody is playing favorites or whatever, but what are you hearing about it?
So first of all, I have never had my hands on one.
Oh,
And I
okay.
put it out there publicly. It was 2 or 3 weeks ago. It
Okay.
was all over all of a sudden. DynoJet's tune is the shit. It's way better
Right.
than Lloyd's tune, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Everybody all of a sudden is like commenting that it's a great. I said, hey, it's a nice day this weekend. Who wants to meet me?
Let's go ride.
Let's go find out.
Yeah. Right.
Let's go see.
Right.
You
No
know, no,
takers? No
not
takers?
even. It was fucking crickets, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think
That only surprises me in as much as, if I had it and I hadn't compared it yet to somebody else and they want to just roll out and go play, come on, I'll go. I mean,
I'm
let's
not
go do
asking for
this.
pinks. I mean, maybe dinner or lunch or something. I
Coffee
mean,
on the way home. Buy
I
a
don't.
tank of gas these days. That's like a grand prize.
Yeah, I don't kick people's asses for nothing. I mean, I want something. No, but seriously.
Uh,
So I've only heard mostly good things. I've heard a couple
okay.
bad things here and there,
Okay.
but the loudest squeak gets oiled, and so you always hear these negatives, and it's the same thing with Lloyd's.
That that's
You
where I
hear their
struggle.
negatives, but then I think they just surpass. I
Yeah.
think they just surpassed. They're approaching like 2,000 ECUs done.
Wow.
Um,
That's
I
amazing.
don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that number, but anyway,
Yeah.
they're quite a bit up there on Challenger ECUs. And yeah, you've heard some people complain about it, but I've also heard of a lot of people get their stuff fixed. So
Yeah, it's not I'm sure that if you're having an issue with it, they're going to correct what they can, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's going to happen, right?
And they
Um,
finally broke it all the way loose. They have learned more stuff,
yeah.
and so they're telling people, Lloyd's are, if you got your ECU flashed in the early go of this,
Right.
March, April, May, whatever, June, maybe July, I don't know. They're saying call them, find out if you have the newest and best, and if you don't, they'll mail it back, and they want to put the better one. Matter of fact, I'm one of those guys. They
Oh,
told me,
right on. Now,
they
are they
told me,
able to
hey,
do that? Are they able to do that with the remote tuning center thing too? Are they going to do that as
so
well? Okay.
yes, that's
Right.
one thing they have.
Okay.
So I think they released 13 or 15. So listen, guys, Lloyd's Garage does not pay me.
No,
Curtis, you know this.
they do not. No.
Okay. And even I've asked them to put me on payroll. They say no. I'm not worth it.
I don't know if it's called asking.
Uh yeah, yeah.
Very
But I'm
persuasive.
but I follow it, right? And I'm
Right.
friendly with a lot of
Yeah.
Lloyd's Garage and Indie Motorcycle Charlotte, like true friends with some of these guys.
Right.
And so I follow it and I feel like it's my job to know. But so I think they rolled out 13 or 15 or 17 remote tuning centers that can do them in-house. And
Right.
their goal is to do 70, I think is
Right.
what they have signed up or something.
Yeah.
They need special wiring harnesses to be able to do that.
Right.
And so they're rolling them out.
And a big part of it is availability of those because otherwise all the hardware is in place. Yeah.
Dude, they're making them in-house. Indie Motorcycle Charlotte's making them.
Nice. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's Ryan is one
Is
of
Ryan making them?
two. There's two Ryans.
Yeah.
Ryan
Okay.
number 2 is making them. Hey, I want to say real quick,
Yeah.
V-Twin, he asked me what's in the glass.
Boom.
Pepsi and Proper 12.
Proper 12. Yeah.
Like my IQ or my
Yeah.
my maturity age.
I'll give you a proper 12. Sure. All right. I see how it is.
And I never drink because I was planning on going to the gym tomorrow, but I don't know. I looked at that Proper 12 bottle and I was like, where's that Pepsi can at?
Is this not a holiday weekend? Yeah, there's my man. All right.
That's how I feel. That's
So
how I
now,
feel.
while Larry's here,
Hey, does Larry want in on this? Hey, Larry, do you want in on this?
we can bring him in.
Are you available? We'll bring you in. Text me and I'll send you a link, or
We'll send the link.
Curtis will. Just so you know, you're totally welcome to join. Matter of fact, real quick shout out. You live in Green Bay, bro? Dude, I deliver all in Green Bay. I'm there Mondays, there Wednesdays. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, yeah, maybe I'll hit you up or something, or find me on Instagram.
Sounds like lunch
Message
to
me.
me,
If I
man.
ever like lay over, have to get lunch or something, I'll let you know when we meet up. That'd be cool. It'll
Mhm.
be my work, like real work time. If you're still watching, I don't know who's all watching, but
Hey, you noticed something here
oh,
recently?
Challenger stuff. Hang on, Challenger stuff. Dude, you cams are out.
So finally, everybody has a cam. Are we all going to just sit down and relax now for a minute, or no? I mean, for
Well, you have
God's
to wait
sake,
till
the
January.
rabid animals out there over cams
Oh man, yeah, I was too. I don't know,
until
and until availability and time and when it would get done and like
right,
my costs and
right.
yeah. So I'm not saying no forever, but unfortunately, I can't be
Just-
the first one. But
yeah.
I want to go to these drag racing events that are in April that
Okay.
Moonshine Harley Davidson's putting on, and they've
You were
invited
telling
me.
me about this. What? Okay, so now Moonshine does some pretty high tech work on Harley Davidson motors,
Dude,
right?
they got like a
They do they're serious dudes, right?
dude, they're like one of the premier
Yeah.
big motor builders for Harley guys. Like I think they have like a
Okay.
151 cubic inch motor. Like, bro, I'll have to look it up because I might be a little wrong, but it
Wow.
is, yeah, it's crazy
Okay.
how they play down there in Moonshine. So as I talk to you, I'm like texting and I'm like quick looking. So I see a 143. Yeah, Moonshine Harley. Where is it at? Moonshine Harley.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're big time. So what they do, and I guess they did it for the first time this fall, and they
Okay.
invited me to it. They after I raced Keith, um,
Oh,
on a
right, because
on a
Keith has all his work done down there. Yeah.
so he had
Okay.
so it's in my disclaimer in it that it was Harley Davidson's motor, not there. They have an ass kicker
Okay.
131,
All right.
and it was not the ass kicker
Ass kicker.
131.
No, okay.
Right. It was 131 by Harley Davidson, but with some more aggressive cams.
Right on.
And so after watching the video, they asked me, well, come on down. Okay. Okay. Hang on. You know, I tried to go. Like I called you, you know, I tried to make it work so I could go. So I told them I wasn't gonna be able to make it. You know, I felt like it was a bad idea for me to jump on the bike and go drag racing, right? So ride down to Tennessee, drag race, hope nothing goes wrong, and then ride home. Seems like I'm asking for issues, right?
Yeah.
So I
How
couldn't
far does
get
that
the
extended warranty go? Really?
I couldn't get the transportation set up
Mhm.
ready.
Okay.
So they got back to me again. They said, "Well, we want you to know you're welcome in April." They haven't set a date yet for
Okay.
sure, but they think it's April or May. We want you to come out. We would love to have you. It's super nice, very polite in offering.
Okay.
I know they want me to go down there so they can kick my ass. Let's just be completely honest.
Well, they're hoping to kick your ass.
Right. Well, I'm
Right.
hoping to convince Lloyd and Tim to help me get these cams
Okay.
so Indian can represent and go kick some goddamn ass. And I'm not
Okay.
playing. So that's true. That's really what
All
my
right.
goal is.
Okay.
And I want to bring it to him. So also if anybody hang on.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Larry's texting me.
Oh, hi, Larry.
Uh,
How the hell are
you
you?
want to forward that? Or do you have it on?
I can do
You have
that.
it
Watch
queued up.
this. Watch
Forward
this.
him the link.
Okay.
So I want to go down there in April. It's really cool. So they take a drag strip at a racetrack, they get it ready. They bring in drag racing coaches
Okay.
that are professional and they help people learn how to get better at drag racing. So my hope is I can get it done, get my bike up to par. You know,
Yep.
there's things coming out. There's 112 kits coming out, that 117 kit that I believe it's Milwaukee Indian motorcycle that offers it. I think it's a Revolution kit. Is that right? Do you know?
I suspect it. Oh, yeah. The 117 kit is like one I believe that Revolution Performance has been working on.
Right.
Don't
So
quote me on that, but check out, check them out online and look into at the Motorcycle Monkey garage.
yeah, so they're
Because there's stuff with them on the
motorcycle
King of the
yeah,
Baggers program.
M3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're running a 112 because they're running the rules for King of the Baggers.
Correct.
So, but the Milwaukee Indian Revolution, they don't care about the King of the
Right.
Bagger stuff.
Now, here's a piece of irony. It's been now exposed that there is a 112 kit out there, either from Indian or SNS, right? Because it's
Right.
been
Yep.
run on the Challenger, right?
It's been leaked on a podcast I
Indian
listen
Rider
to called
Radio.
Indian Rider Radio.
Yeah,
Twice.
here I
Twice.
am.
One by
Yeah,
the rider, and then once again by
right.
SNS team.
Themselves, yeah.
Yeah,
They by not saying a word, they said everything they need to say. But
absolutely.
that once you see that kit come out, it's going to kind of complement, I think, a whole round table of things that they've created for this
Mhm.
bike, right? And if you go back in SNS's history, okay, guys, especially the guys in the Harley world, and maybe even guys back as far as the 70s, would buy all their components, intake, exhaust, whatever they had at the time.
Yeah.
And because that was the way to do it. And guys have been going back to that for a long time now. Think about the relationship that Vance and Hines had with Harley Davidson for so long.
Mhm.
Okay. You could literally take that stuff out of the box, bolt it up, right? Grab your cell phone with the fuel tech thing,
Yep.
and boom, away you went. Okay. So that's the same kind of relationship now that SNS is able now to create with Indian Motorcycle, especially with the Challenger, because it just laid itself open as a development dream by coming to the track.
Yeah, I
This
agree.
motorcycle is going to be amazing on every level, because not only have we now figured out what to do with the ECU and how to get the most we can out of it so far, and that limit hasn't been reached yet, but you're going to see big bore kits, and you're going to see some changes, I'll bet, in Bagger Racing League and King of the Baggers, so that those bikes can be more competitive. That means they're going to increase the displacement on one or limit it on the other. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
So I'm looking. We have a question here. I
Fire
put
when
it up.
ready.
Any thoughts on the big bore that Two Boss made? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about it.
I have only read one article on it, and it didn't tell me much other than it existed.
Is it for the Challenger though?
Yeah, it's for the Power Plus motor. Is that the same one we're talking about, dude? Ask again, whoever it was.
See, Thunderstroke engines as well. Robust is
Yeah.
trying to. I
My
think
dog
this
is
is.
snoring.
Hey, bro, I think this is Thunderstroke.
Okay.
I don't see.
Are we looking at the same one?
Well, I'm on twobossesperformance.com
Okay, that's not where I'm at. Okay, go ahead.
and I don't see Power Plus. I only
Okay.
see.
Only things. Okay.
Doesn't mean I'm not wrong,
Two
but
boss made. Okay.
I wonder if I put in the word Challenger.
Milwaukee Indian. Okay. Okay. Two boss is Milwaukee Indian, according to Napoleon here.
Oh, well, then that's the 107. It's the 117 kit.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, so I'll tell you the only thing. I kind of reached out to them and I just
Okay.
wanted to get answers, and I couldn't really get any answers.
How come? What was the challenge?
I think I just was talking to the wrong people, maybe the wrong time, too early in the
Right.
game.
Right.
Maybe they released it like on social media, but didn't really want to talk about it yet. Just wanted to create a stir, possibly, right?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like the perfect storm. But I'm not sure how much R&D has gone into that.
You're.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't know. Obviously, it's complete. They may have a million miles of R&D. We literally have no idea.
Right.
But because it's not out, I mean, tell you what, they want to hook me up with a 117 kit.
Okay.
I'll do it if they put Lloyd's cams in it. Then I'll pay to take it to Indian Motorcycle Charlotte,
right.
And have that whole
have it
package
tuned, do the
done.
whole works. Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do the whole thing.
Your bike would be a great subject for that. You know why?
Because I ride.
Well, there's that, but
I fucking ride.
Yeah, you do.
They're
you
like,
do.
hey, we raised your rev limiter. Most people don't care.
You do. Yeah, because you shift the red line. Right?
That's right. Oh, damn right.
Yeah.
I knew that the bike went through red line before people knew that it went through before red line. And then so when Ryan said, hey, I gave you an extra 300, I used every second of it.
Yep. All of them were mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
What do we got? Chose to get a bunch of other stuff instead of it. Okay. Chose to get a bunch of other stuff instead of it. I was absolutely going to buy it, but I wanted comfort first. Yeah, man after my own heart. Come on, make it comfortable. Then we'll worry about it.
Hey, you want to know what I bought?
What's that?
take a guess. You know me pretty well. What's something I've never bought, and I have my bike for like 28,000 miles, and I just bought it for the first time?
Tires?
I'm on set 3, bro.
Okay, I kind of figured as much. Okay, I don't know. What did you do?
Bars. I bought
Oh,
handlebars
yeah.
finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So I saw a leak and I found a part number
Yeah.
and I ordered them. They're not even out. They're not even on Indian's website, I don't believe. Or unless
Okay.
they just came on in the last few days. But
Those were
yeah,
the
I should.
ones featured in the display photos in the model
Yeah.
overview that they did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
They
that's
look
a
just like
spur. Yeah.
Torch Industry bars, which are the ones that I've been liking.
Oh,
So
right on. You know what I finally landed on with the Elite Noir is the KST Customs.
did you get
They're
did you
6-inch
get
rise. I
Yep.
like how narrow they are because I don't have a big wingspan, right?
Okay.
And I've tried the ones from Indian on a couple of different bikes, and they're just too wide, or they come back to a little too far.
Yeah.
And yeah, these things just fit nicely on there. They look great too. They really came out well. Yeah.
I haven't really rode your bike, have I?
No, you got a good close look at it when I was up there this summer, but
Yeah,
we,
and
we
I
didn't
think I
really
jumped on it
get
and I think I moved your bike, but I don't think I
maybe. Yeah, I don't
rode
think
your
you got a
bike.
chance to ride it. You're gonna like it a lot better now. You didn't want to ride it because it has a 111 in it, but now
I
with the
hate
116 and
111s.
the cam kit in it, it does very well.
116.
Yeah.
What cams did you put in it? Do you remember?
The hotter of the two, the 585 cam. Is that correct? Is that the
Lloyd's
hotter of the
cams?
two? Yeah.
Is it Lloyd?
I believe actually they are somebody else's, but they are a performance cam,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
585 is a
all the other stuff that goes with it too. I mean,
yeah.
they went through the
Who
whole motor for me.
my boy Tito made that for you, right?
He
At
did, and they went through. Like I said, they went
Pi
through everything. They
yeah,
really
Pikes
did.
Peak Indian is who
Yeah.
we're referring to right now.
Pikes Peak Indie Motorcycle. Now, soon you're going to see more stuff from Tito's side of the building, which is elevated performance.
Okay.
They're working on a variety of little things right now that hopefully they can roll out through the next year or so and put themselves on the map doing some of the performance work that they were already doing in house.
He always told me from the first time I ever met him, he said, "We're about looking good and going fast."
And that's no kidding. That is
It's
no kidding.
true,
You
bro.
should see some of the bike. Well, you've seen a lot of the bikes on their showroom floor. Once he and his dad Lorenzo get started, the idea goes from, hey, let's change this to about an hour later, we've talked out an entire motorcycle.
So it's pretty cool. So Tito will shoot
Yeah.
me pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Before they even release them, he's like, check out this paint job we got on this bad boy.
Yeah. And they aren't afraid of that either. They go big or go home. Yeah. It's amazing. They find all these little pieces. They find all these little things that they do just a little bit differently or have something made that's a little bit more unique.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's like, I've never seen that on anything else. And I certainly wouldn't have thought of it on that, but it works, and I don't know how those guys do it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have an eye for it. And I do not have that eye.
Well, I told you forever I wanted to go with a real simple exhaust system for my bike. And I kept looking at the choices, and there were plenty of them out there that I liked. And Tito kept pointing to, he said, look, try this, just try it. And that's the Pisani X Host.
Yep.
And, I like it well enough. I think it's not as powerful as I would really like. It doesn't bring as much out of the 116.
Is it a true dual?
It is. It is. And I think, yeah. And again, I go back to the reason I gravitate to the true dual is it eliminates some of the back pressure, the motor back pressure. So
okay,
you get a little less of that back and forth when you're downshifting and engine braking and some of that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But by the same token, you don't get the hard acceleration. You don't get some of that mid-range power band that you would get otherwise.
Yeah. Somebody explained it to me once. I thought it was pretty cool. So where that 2-to-1 come into effect, here I'm gonna change the screen so that way people can see my hands.
Air scavenging, yeah.
Yeah. So like where the exhaust is coming out, right?
Okay.
It makes a suction. So when the next cylinder releases its exhaust, it's like getting sucked out, not just blown out. It's now both. Right. And my understanding is when that happens, it gives a good suction in for air intake as well. Okay. And listen, I don't know. I just trust the guys that know what they're talking about.
Right.
And Yeah, it was just really interesting conversation. And so that was the benefit of like the two to
Right.
1 to 2. Any of the times where they come together, you can create that vacuum essentially.
Yeah.
Where when you have the true duels, you have a hard time getting that vacuum.
Yeah, and they don't stay as tuned as well as long. I
Okay.
saw the difference back when I had my Springfield. I had the D&D 2-in-1,
Yep.
the Fat Cat, and I really liked that exhaust because it had a great note on it. It hung out a little bit further out the back. It was a little bit longer, so it had a little more of a pronounced look. But it really delivered power through the mid range because that bike was really well tuned for it,
Yeah.
and it just worked out amazingly. Now I knew I was going to sacrifice some of that doing the True Duel with the Pisani, but again, they
Well, do
sold
you think
a
you
lot
might
of yeah.
switch? Do you think you might switch to something else? Do you have
I
any?
know
What do you? What,
I think
oh,
I
you
know
know
I
you will.
and not for lack of not for a lack of ability on the Pisani part. It's a great exhaust system, and it does fine. It sounds great. It looks good. Looks amazing on that bike.
It does
Actually,
look really good.
problem is I drag it everywhere I go.
You don't
I
ride like
grind the
most.
crap out of it.
Yeah, yeah. You ride.
Yeah.
Like we ride together.
Yeah.
You ride.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. Could you imagine like so SNS makes their 112 kit, so they're like SNS cam, SNS 112 kit, SNS 2-to-1 exhauster Challenger.
Correct. Yep.
$3,500. Boom, there's one package.
That's the beauty of it. Again, I go back to the success that Vance and Hines had with Harley Davidson, and early on, the success SNS had with Harley Davidson selling entire performance upgrade sets, kits. Okay,
Well, didn't
that was the way to go.
Yeah, didn't Victory do that? And actually, Indian
Oh,
has
yeah.
done that
Yeah.
with the Thunderstroke. They did that. They sold kits.
Absolutely, yeah. And you could go into the dealership and pretty much order everything based off one part number.
Yeah.
There they were, right?
Yeah.
But what this is really starting to show is that first they took their time. They didn't just slap something together for Challenger after they didn't roll out something the minute they took the checkered flag on the first, King of the Baggers race. This is 2.5 years, almost 3 in production or more because they're working on the bike long before that, right? So these are products now that they've really had to, and it's hard to take a race product and make it streetable, but you can take that street product or that race product and use it as a foundation for creating the street product. Okay. SNS has been very, very diligent about that. And what you're going to see is a collection of pieces that'll work incredibly well together. Listen to the new podcast episode because I don't want to give it all away, but David will tell you a lot about where they're going with what they're doing with Challenger, and the rollouts are coming very, very soon. So if you're sitting on the fence about where you want to go, and maybe this is something you can consider too, because you've talked about wanting to try even more different things. And the point I was going to make a minute ago is you've never been afraid to go out and try what's new on your bike.
Right.
In real world conditions. You've always been able to jump out there and do that.
Yeah, my Toast Performance exhaust was like, I rode all the way to Connecticut for that.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
And
You're not afraid of this.
Yeah. And I told them, I said, listen, I'll do this.
Mhm.
I'll ride out to Connecticut.
Yep.
I said, and I would love to see your shop. And I've gotten to know the owner, Dan, and some of the shop guys there. All super cool guys. And I told them, you guys are all super cool. I like you.
Right.
It's super cool thing anyway. That proper tone, bro. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, but if it sounds shitty after I put it on my bike, we're taking it off.
Yeah,
and I'm putting Tab Performance back on.
Right.
I said it's so funny because like we have this conversation, like you and I in front of everybody, and I keep saying, and that's because
I do know. Yeah, we've had these conversations. Yes, yeah, in length.
Now,
at length.
Yeah, and so
just oh my God, is the back door open?
Hang on, he can't come in yet. I'm in the middle of my Toast Performance exhaust.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Hey, God, let's bring him in. That's fucked up.
What are you doing? No, come on now.
What's up, Larry?
What up, fellas?
Oh man, we were just saying how I'm not scared to try things. I was one of the first people with the Lloyd's tune, and I ride it, I push it, and my Toast Performance exhaust. I tried it. They said, we promise you're going to gain power. So I'm not going to lose power because if I'm losing power, I'm losing your exhaust.
Yeah, I got to go.
And if it sounds like garbage, that's no go. And if your guys' bracket for your left hand bag looks like garbage, I'm not gonna rock it. So, like you were saying, these kits coming out, I'm not scared to put them on, and I don't get mad when shit breaks.
No, you don't.
And that's true, Larry. You've been there. I think you were there one time. I said, "Yeah, I brought my bike in to the shop."
Yep.
I was like, they had to. It was when the ECU first messed up or whatever it was, brand new, and I wasn't mad. I was like, shit happens. The good thing about when you work with good companies, they back their product. Sometimes we have to put money for that, right? So if you buy the Amazon shit, yeah, sometimes you get stuck, but you saved your 50 cents. Sometimes you pay that extra $100 or $50 you get you pay for.
Look,
and
if
then
you buy motorcycle parts off Wish, you get what you deserve. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Dude, I did it. I had a sick looking rearview mirrors for my Challenger. They looked so good.
Did they?
And about 43 miles later, when they were chipping paint and they started fading to gray, I was like, the gray looks all right.
There's child labor involved someplace. I just know it. There's something horribly wrong about that on every level.
I wanted to say real quick. He's getting the FMBS for this winter 6'2". Okay, yeah, you're 6'5", bro. You probably need your arms up a little high. Here's my thing about bars. I was asked if I was going to do a video by Craig, and I am going to do a video. I think I'm sure I will. My boys at Bison Thunder are going to help me do it, I'm sure. But I wanted my hands protected by the fairing. I have a fairing for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
And I've taken enough rocks to the hands. Even with gloves, they suck.
Yeah.
A big ass June bug, break a knuckle. So anyway, hey, me and you, bro, we got some racing to do too, Larry.
Oh yeah. We still got to get with Tall, don't we?
Man, I've been trying. I messaged him and in July. It was really bad timing, but I think we'll work it. I think this will be the year, 2022. This will be the year.
I might be bringing something.
Yeah.
But it's not for the Indian Rider Radio podcast. If you get, yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Well, this is riding fish. We can talk about whatever the
that's
fuck we
true.
want.
That's true.
Right. Yeah, you can muddy the water over here if you want.
Yeah, you have more than 2 cylinders, I think, on that new bike, right?
Yeah. So you know what? I was trying to keep it a secret.
I won't say nothing. Forget it. Well,
no, but I don't care. I'm a snitch. I'll snitch on myself. I don't care.
Hey man, snitches get stitches, bro. You better watch out.
So you guys know that I've been looking for a second bike for a while.
Yeah.
And when we were in Sturgis, I test rode a bunch of bikes and really fell in love with one. And it unfortunately wasn't an Indian branded or Harley.
Okay.
And there was a Yamaha MT-09 that really caught my eye. And I'm like, oh man, this bike is great. I'm getting this bike. I wasn't 100% sold on the looks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have been following EICMA is this week, the Italian motorcycle show, or this motorcycle show, the international motorcycle show that they hold in Italy. And so all these manufacturers are putting out bikes.
It's just where all the metric guys really lay it all out, because I've seen things like the new Moto Guzzi, the new Kawasaki's came out.
Dude, the Ducatis are out.
I'm just saying they should have flown us out. I'm just saying the 3 of us can do a hell of a show. They should have flown us out there.
Oh, dude, if I could speak Italian, I would have been there.
I'd speak English, and they can subtitle that shit on the bottom.
Speak Italian. I speak Italian every time I'm at the grocery store. Parmesan.
I could say vino and spaghetti. That's pretty much all.
Yeah. Universally accepted.
But this week they Yamaha actually was cool.
Sorry. What the hell just happened?
Yamaha released for the American market this bike called the XSR 900, and it's basically the MT-09 just in a cafe racer look.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that bike, dude, and guys, and I'm like, I literally called the dealership close to my house. And I said, how do you guys need to take my money? And believe it or not, this is what's going to throw you guys off. They said, well, we just placed our order for next quarter, and we didn't order one, so we're not going to take your money.
Ah,
So yeah, I
Wait, what?
was
dude.
yeah, like
So,
right
Wait,
to
what?
at this time and age, they were like, "Nah, we can't take your money."
hey, by chance, what dealership was it?
The one in Osseo,
Okay.
Hennons, I think it's called. See, I wouldn't want to bad
Yeah,
mouth
yeah, I know what
Do
you
we
mean.
know
Talking
these
about.
people?
So
I mean, who do
the
we have to call?
them. I got
Because we
another
got
one I'm gonna
go up
try
there
out
and
in
get a bike.
Lakeville.
is it
What are we doing here?
Simply Ride?
No, not those guys.
Go try it. Have you ever dealt with them at all?
Not yet. Didn't they used to be Simply Street Bikes?
Yeah, they're Simply Street Bikes, Simply Sport Bikes, or
Okay.
Simply Sport Bikes, Simply Street Bikes. They have evolved, bro. They're new, and Yamaha, they're a fucking nice dealership. The people, I mean, are nice. Their
Oh,
service is super affordable. I'll be honest with you, I've gotten tires there many times on my Challenger, on my Victories. Their support system's really good. So anyway, I'm just throwing it out. They don't
yeah.
even
I'll give them a holler because somebody needs to take my money, man. That bike is beautiful.
have
Um,
you checked out the Sportster S?
yeah, I rode it in Sturgis,
Do you like
and
it?
I did like it, but so here's where I'm in that weird mode again where I find for the second bike I want something that the best way to put it is I don't want to spend a ton of money on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I want something that I can put a lot of money. If I want to put money into it, it's going to be for upgrades.
hmm
And if I can get it under 10,000 or even 8,000
Right.
and just beat the piss out of it, that's the perfect second bike for me.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you, I thought about selling my FTR and getting that damn Sportster S.
ooh, and the sports dress is nice. It is really nice. I enjoyed riding it. It
I
didn't give
rode
me
it.
this. I will say this though, that MT that it's called their Crossplane 3 engine.
Mm-hmm.
That engine made me giggle. I was in my helmet, literally
Did it
giggling.
really?
I was
Yeah.
just like, just it was insane. It was insane.
You said wheelie mitigation in that bad boy, right?
Dude,
Right.
they had to. And the funny thing is, it was on when I took it for a test ride on the MT-09 and the XSR 900, the same bike.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I took it out, I got out of the parking lot and the front wheel came up, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys got me, you son of a gun! You got me."
Now
That's
I
what got
have
me.
to buy it.
Yeah,
Now
that
I
is what
have-
got me on the FTR. And I have no issue keeping the FTR. The biggest thing about almost buying the Sportster is one, it was a badass bike. I really liked it. Really, there wasn't very much I disliked about it. A little bit, maybe more like stupid EPA stuff, right? Exhausts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was still having problems with the with the exterior look of that bike. It just looked a little too plastic, a little too cosmetic.
Yeah, so especially around the exhaust covers and stuff like that. I agree with you, but I don't think it's much to get rid of that.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But the other thing is that the missus could ride it with that low seat height. So that was kind of the thing.
True.
She shot it. She's like, nope, not interested in riding. She used to ride an R6. Like we used to ride. She's not super interested. If she would have said yes, I'd have pulled the trigger. She said no. I have no problem keeping the FTR. I actually didn't get to use it how I wanted to this year. So I'm hoping next year is a better expansion year for me.
Well, Larry knows that I looked at the FTR seriously because I went out and rode it not once but twice while I was in Sturgis, and we had a lengthy conversation with a young lady there who didn't give she listened intently, but she could not help us as we dismantled the FTR at certain levels. But I went out and rode that bike with a certain expectation. Did we not?
we did, and we were hopped up on the free coffee.
Oh,
iced
God,
coffee
yeah.
that she didn't have a chance.
No. So they've got these coffee drinks in there, and they're just sitting around. And
Where were you at? Were you in Sturgis?
We're in Sturgis at the Indian Motorcycle Demo location.
Oh, you were at the corporate demo.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I had wanted to go ride an FTR. I wanted to ride a Chief. I wanted to do a bunch of stuff, but yeah, we wind up there after a long night the night before. He and I show up there at about the same time. Both of us get the same idea. Let's slam some of these coffee drinks, and then we just verbally assault this other poor girl.
Oh, no.
I mean, I became one of the most technically boring people you'd ever want to meet because I went into detail on things and she looked at me, her eyes glazed over, and I kept talking.
Please tell me.
Almost on purpose.
Please tell me
Almost
doing
on
the.
purpose.
You did one of those. Well, don't you remember the Suzuki 1981 Suzuki cross-plane? He
Pretty
did
much.
one
Sure
of those.
did.
Yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
You know, and she was like, I
Yeah, I
was
took her down
0
history
in
lane, didn't I,
1981.
Larry? I took her right down the
Oh, I
Wikipedia
know.
lane. Yeah.
Hey, how many times have I been like, all right, Curtis? even here.
One time last year on the damn real-time test ride, he shut my shit off. Okay.
That's a lie.
I started talking about some old motorcycle. Next thing I know, I'm talking to my goddamn self.
Hey, you want to know what happened? So
12 hours of him, and I got 5 minutes he won't take.
So Larry,
Can't believe
so
it.
I give him my Senna because I
Right.
wanted to talk for the real timer test ride.
Yeah.
When he came out to Minnesota, he brought his helmet.
Yeah.
He left the fucking Senna at home. No, he didn't even want the helmet with me.
No, lesson learned. Don't start with me. Lesson learned. I get it. Who
Oh,
just
man.
dropped a 5 on us? Good show, guys. That's from right
My
on.
boy Mark, man.
Boy.
Wow, congrats.
Hey,
That's going
yeah.
If it takes Sturgis talk to get money going, I think we got some stories, don't we?
Oh, Jesus.
no,
That we can't share.
no.
No.
Everybody knows. Remember, my voice was shot.
Yes.
That's what happens when I go out on your birthday, Larry. You can't get me
Oh,
out there on
man.
your birthday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this $5 towards my cams. All right.
There you
So
go.
here's the deal. Anybody send me money, I'm gonna put them towards my cams so we can go whoop some Harley Davidson ass in April.
Okay.
Did you
And
hear
you
that
are- and
part,
you're
Larry?
really gonna go. You're gonna go throw down with these guys.
I'm gonna fuck yeah, I'm going. I'm
Good.
going this time.
Good.
I'm gonna trade Big Gabe's in the house, by the way.
Oh,
Hey.
Gabe, get ready.
Gabe, how
You're
are
going
you,
with
man?
me. You're going with me, bro. I want to go down to Tennessee. I'm gonna trailer my bike. I'm gonna
All right.
take my stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get Lloyd's Garage to hook me up, and I want to go kick some ass and show some people what Indian Challenger can do against hopped up Harley Davidsons. And listen, if I
Okay.
lose, I lose. They
Well,
might just
you gotta
outrace
try,
me. I
right?
don't know.
Yeah,
What
you
do
gotta
you-
want to try.
Yeah, of
Represent
course.
for
I'm not
crying out
scared.
loud. What are you
I'll
doing?
learn something.
Slacker.
Like I was saying earlier, they actually bring drag racing coach in, a professional drag racer that coaches people.
Oh wow.
So you get to do as many runs as you want.
Yeah.
My understanding is assuming a time allowance or whatever, but then they teach you and help you become a better racer while you're there.
Okay.
So I'll learn something.
Why don't we reach out to Brian Connolly Jr. at Valley Racing in the Chicago area,
Yep.
and we'll get an identical pair of leathers, identical helmets. You can do all the talking. We'll put Brian on the bike, who's already a pro drag racer.
Hell no.
Bam. He wins. We're done. Bullshit. Over.
Listen, like I like
Yeah.
the idea, and I like
He's
the
pro
idea.
for
man.
crying out loud. The kid has got like records. Why don't we not just put the ringer in and get it over with?
Listen, we'll do that for for when it's like money's on the line. But if it's just
Okay.
bullshit and talking, I'll take it. Even a little money. I got $5. Hey, bro, I got $5. I'm putting it on the line.
All 5?
I'll spend this shit in one
Yeah.
place. I'm
Let me
looking
see
to
your
double up.
goblet. Come on.
I'm looking to double up. Hey, seriously, Mark, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
But I'm looking to
Right on, Mark.
double. I'm looking to double up.
Okay.
Larry, we're going to
Yeah, yeah.
Daytona.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got,
I'm
I
just-
know we got a lot of behind the scenes talk that we got to do.
Yeah,
that
we
there's not. for
That is the
public.
plan.
But-
Okay, but here I want to premise this for you, okay? Just I want you to put this in your mind. A YouTuber, a blogger, and a podcaster go into a bar. The rest of that shit writes itself after that. Okay? That is comedy with a capital K. We should go to Daytona together, yes?
I'm down.
All
It
right.
would be fucking fun. I mean, we went out for a birthday.
Oh, yes, we
Yeah.
did.
I don't remember any of that.
What?
Okay, I think
We tried to make it memorable.
I think I
Larry. We
disappeared for
tried
a
to
minute.
make it
I was
memorable.
like,
So
I
I
just
think
had
I
to-
can. I think I can say this publicly without being in too much trouble. But that was the same night Curtis just disappeared.
Perfect.
Okay, hang on. I had to call him. I'm like, "Where you at?" I decided to leave. Too many people. I'm like, there was a lot of people when we got here, but okay. So then
Right.
you disappeared, Larry. So here I am, hang out with your friend and your wife.
I love it. I love it.
Eventually, I was like, all right, I guess I gotta go too.
Little Irish adios. They're out of here. Boom. See ya.
I was like,
Hey,
I have never hung out with guys that just leave. That shit usually pisses me off, but with these guys, it's like, y'all are my elders or whatever. I guess you can do what you want. But
I
normally,
don't.
I'm like, normally I got like my arm on people. I got to like keep track of people. I lose both the motherfuckers. How do I lose you guys? Out of the big old black dude and the guy with the hat? Like, come on! I should have kept you guys on. I don't know. Maybe I was messed up.
I don't even know where I wandered off to. Like somebody, I think you called me, and I'm like, I think I'm across the street. I didn't know where I was anymore.
I think it was.
Did he eventually circle back though? Did he eventually circle back?
No, not while I was
nah.
there.
Okay, all right.
Not while I was there. So luckily Kevin didn't ever ditch me. That was the same night. I think you guys said
Kevin, I love you, but I'm going to say it right out loud. He just didn't want to get lost.
Hey, I would get lost,
right?
That was the same night that I had too much to drink, and I went to the cop and had him breathalyze me before I even got on my bike.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah,
I think.
He was like, "Wait, you want me to do what?"
Wait,
I
what?
said, "I want you to tell me if I'm too drunk to ride." He goes, "If you think you're too drunk to ride, don't ride." I said, "Nah, bitch, I think I'm good, but 0.09, you guys think I'm not. So why don't you let me know if I can ride or I'm getting a ride home?"
So
he did it though.
I'm gonna get us out of the dry snitching category here and just ask you guys, so have you guys talked about Sturgis in any of your after hours yet?
No.
It's
only our second after hours.
Not as great a detail as perhaps we should.
I'm just wondering what you guys thought of this year, because kind of as a recap, they were talking about the numbers. I've finally seen the numbers come out.
What were they?
They weren't as big as I thought they were going to be. I thought it was about 500,000.
Okay.
They said for the
back right around the 500,000 mark again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it hit 700. No.
So I looked. The story I saw was a pretty reliable source, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like the Rapid City newspaper.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys or anybody. I'd love to see some comments in the chat too. Did anybody feel like there were a lot more people than 500,000? Because it felt like it was wall to wall. It felt like the years I've been out there where there's been close to 1 million people.
Yeah, I would have to say, I between 20 when I was there and it was COVID shut down, everybody was closed up and travel was restricted. It seemed like there was a lot of people, but nowhere near what we saw last year. Last year did seem busy everywhere we went. It was busy everywhere we went.
Even the riding was busy. Like
actually,
that was the one part that I thought was a little less.
Yeah.
And I can explain why I think so. But the few times I didn't do a lot of riding, right? We all know I was at Lloyd's Garage a lot. I was downtown a lot. I was at the Trust No One booth quite a bit. I was just meeting and shaking hands and kissing babies, all the good stuff. But I felt like a lot of people were enjoying the shopping experience and the socializing experience more than other years where people are like, I've had 42 motorcycle events already. I want to go ride the Black Hills. I felt like it was a good mixture because Kevin and I, we went and did Iron Mountain Road and we fucking killed that. Like we went early. That helps. But
and speaking of that very point, Larry, are those numbers that they calculate? A lot of them that I've seen published are the ones that are there, or the count done during the official dates of the rally.
So I think this count is based on the trash, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. How they count? They count based on. They estimate based on how much trash they have to generate. They generate throughout the rally, and they can figure out how many people.
I think it was
the car count too.
Yeah, the car
count.
They
combine the two and they figure out the number.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think I don't know. I know it was a good time. Everybody plan on going next year?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, Big Gabe and Kevin, are we going next year? I don't even know. So here's the deal. I have a shit ton of time off.
Okay.
And I don't have any month-long vacations this year. So I'm thinking I'm going to make most of this stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. But
now, speaking of which, now, Larry, you've got a lot of plans for the summer. We're all going to start though in Daytona, right? That's agreed.
That is the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hang on. I was trying to get Curtis to hook me up on something in January, but he's kind of like kiboshing it because he has a business.
I'm just trying to find a place to live for crying out loud.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we could live on our bike, bro.
This is what a homeless person looks like right here.
I wanted to go do something in January or April.
Yeah, April would be April.
Big. But Larry, I think I wanted to ride down to Cabo San Lucas is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Indian to supply a motorcycle. I was like, just pick one. I'll take whatever you ask me to. If they do that, I go in January where it's still cold. I don't care. But if I had to take my own bike, I don't want to really trailer. I want to ride all the way from here to there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's not going to happen.
Why?
Not in January.
No, exactly. That's why I need an Indian to help a brother out, but they don't want to. So I was like, come on, Curtis, you got friends. You got friends in high places.
You think it's high. It's like the second shelf. It's not like, it's not like get a ladder or nothing.
You're not top shelf?
No. I'm working my way up.
So speaking of high.
Yeah.
Sturgis? I'm talking about Sturgis again?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I knew it.
Takes us right back.
If anybody is listening and they go to Sturgis next year or they went last year, don't eat those gummies. There are these gummies that they have out there. Those gummies have me so fucked up, y'all.
South Dakota was going through the edibles phase.
Hey, it couldn't have been like a vape or anything. Like there wasn't no vapes rolling around or nothing like that.
Well, that too. But the gummy had me. I don't know if I think I told you guys the story, but I guess I could tell this one.
Hang on, let me get the dump button. I don't think we have that.
I'll keep it short and sweet.
Right, yeah, keep it like R. No.
I had a gummy from a booth that was in at the Iron Horse Saloon.
Okay.
And they claimed it was totally legal. So I'm like, right on. So I ate half the gummy. Was back in my campsite out by Glencoe. We stopped at I can't remember what is that place called with the big dome? It used to be called the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's the big dome by the old well, I'm having a hard time tonight. It's the old dome by Michael Ballard's old place. Full Throttle.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I don't know. I don't know what that's called. What's that called?
And so we stopped there, got something to eat. And my wife says, "So, how you feeling?" I go, "I feel great. I don't think this gummy is really shit." And
give me the other half.
That was like 45 minutes from when I ate it.
Yeah.
So we ate lunch. We went out to we got on the bike and went to the Indian dealership.
Okay.
Because I think it was one of those days we had some free T-shirts or something like that we could get. And so from the time we got from where Michael Ballard's old place was to the Indian dealership, y'all, I was completely high. Like I had no idea. I got off the bike and I'm like, thank God we made it here. Because if we had to ride like another 30 seconds, I would have been done. So I get off the bike. I'm walking around the dealership. I had to go sit in a cushy chair and just sit there. And I'm like, this is not good.
You're like, this chair is so soft.
Oh, dude. And people were talking to me and I'm like, I can't have a conversation right now. And I was like, I actually went to the bathroom and turned my T-shirt inside out so it didn't say V-Twin Vlog on it because I was that high. from a legal gummy, mind you, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not. So we wound up having to sit outside at the dealership for about 2.5 hours. And I sat on a picnic bench and I'm sitting here like this, just my eyes are closed, my eyes are rolled back and closed. I got this towel on my head. I'm putting a bottle of water across my forehead. And my wife looks at me and she goes, "Do I need to call an ambulance?"
Like I'm dying, call 911.
Yeah. Any minute now, I'm over.
Apparently I didn't say this to her, but I said, but in my head, I said, you cannot call an ambulance because all they're going to do is show up and laugh at me. So
And you may
anyway,
have been right, Larry.
yeah, because I was just, guys, I'm telling you, I was really, really, really high.
That's
So
great.
so the next day I went back and I bought a whole 10-pack of them. Because I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, lesson not learned.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, so Sturgis, I'm telling you guys, if you guys want to hang out, I know you two will hang out at Sturgis, but if anybody else is on here, we're a good time. I
Oh yeah.
cannot.
Oh
It
yeah.
sounds like Big Gabe's gonna go. I think Kevin's gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to bring some of the little
Kevin
crew.
can't go with anybody else but us now.
Kevin said he's
I
working on
mean,
his
it was
singing
just like
voice.
baptism by fire. He doesn't even know who we are. It's like, hey, guess what? You're gonna ride to Sturgis with this guy, hang out with this guy. Oh no, you're gonna meet this guy.
Man, and let me tell
What a
you,
bastard.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the way Kevin and I rode to Sturgis, bro, like,
That was hammer down time.
dude, it was
Yeah,
we
it was.
fucking were flying. We
Yeah,
made
we were
good time
left-handers
and had
all the way.
and
Yeah.
we stopped too much. Like our breaks were way too long, and we still made really good time. By the way, I'm gonna say, everybody, I don't do gummies. I barely drink ever. I don't smoke nothing. I don't vape nothing. But man, I can have a good time with everybody, even if I do lose my friends. Apparently,
Well, we enjoy you until we leave.
yeah, right.
Larry and I just walk away.
You enjoy when you're leaving.
We're having a good time. Time to go now. Yeah, that's funny.
Why is it that whenever I come on the show, like the quality of the show just goes?
It really doesn't. It's just a matter of the conversation taking a dip. It's not the quality. so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Listen, you just got that persona. When you walk in, you got to take it over, bro. You're just like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. You know, I know some guys like that too. They might also be on the show.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes,
so-
but this is the cool thing though. If we go to Daytona together, which we're going to try to do, right? That's the goal. Is we're going to try to make this thing
listen,
work.
you guys put it in my head already. If y'all
Yeah.
leave me hanging this time, I'll be pissed.
I'm not leaving you hanging. You're coming with
Okay.
me, and I'm going to come show up at your door with a
Okay.
40-foot RV in the middle of winter in Minnesota. I'm not the smartest guy on the trip, you know.
and
on
I'm
the road.
driving it from there.
And then you're rolling out from there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll bring the gummies. No, just
Right.
I can imagine it now. Hang on.
Okay.
Hey guys, going down the road. Not that this pretend this is mounted, okay? Like
Okay. We have to
Because that'd be
pretend. We're
way
using
not
our
safe.
imaginations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at behind me, you'll see there's Larry and Curtis passed out talking about how soft
Right.
the cushion is.
Yeah.
And I lost him at the last rest stop.
They've been gone for over an hour.
Can you believe this RV only does 87 miles an hour?
76 max speed.
76. That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Downhill, no matter what.
Is it really 76?
Yeah. I mean, you can literally go anywhere you want to go on the planet as long as you don't go any faster than 76 miles an hour.
Wow. That's
No.
kind of disheartening.
Now, there is a performance kit that you can put on this, and if you're a performance junkie or whatever, it's a 7.3 liter Ford engine, V8 engine in this thing.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go crazy with performance crap for it, but none of it is cheap. There is no easy upgrade for this motor.
I bet.
It you know, because it too has an ECU that is a bitch, and it gets a little fussy at times. And so, yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing, but somehow, some way, I'm going to nurse some more power out of this thing so that we can cruise at 80.
You think Ryan at Lloyd's can? I bet he can hack that ECU, bro. I'm just telling you. I'm
So
pretty
happens,
sure he
I can, I could send it to him, let him play
Oh.
around for a half an hour or whatever.
Yeah. Kevin says, Fish looked at me and he said, or it's time to ride. So I had to put, and that's true. So this is what happened. All right, hang on. This is what happened.
So what about these
So-
big boy pants? What?
So Kevin and I, right, we leave my house.
Okay.
So this is what happened. So Kevin rode from Milwaukee to my place and we
Wow.
crashed here, whatever.
Okay.
We hung out. So then we left, right? And this was on the second time I ever rode with Kevin, like just us two or in a really small group. So I wasn't sure his comfortability. I wasn't sure. Minnesota kind of can be a little tight with our troopers and stuff too.
Right.
But we got to Sioux Falls and that was about the time that I was like, all right, are you ready, Kevin? Because now it's time to fucking ride, bro.
Yep.
And he said, all right. I said, just stay next to me. Be right next to me, either right next to me or right where I can see you in my mirror. Other than that, don't go farther. Just stay next to me.
Right.
and we fucking I'm telling you, it was pretty cool. Actually, I think I did a video a little bit on us riding out there.
Yeah.
It was very minimal. It didn't capture the moment, but we had a moment. Kevin, we had a moment.
Oh, you had a moment. Nice.
Yeah, we had a moment, definitely.
A moment.
Yeah, I was like, you're no beginner no more. I don't care if this is your first bike, this is your first and a half season. I'm like, no. You are fucking a rider.
Good for him.
When was the last time you rode, Larry? I was just telling Curtis I haven't rode in like 2 weeks, other than like 50 miles one day.
It was.
Did you get out?
I'm trying to think if it was Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, that nice day.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday.
Almost rode today too. I was gonna take it out over lunch.
I was just telling Curtis, I was like, damn, I got stuck working, and it was kind of a sad moment for me.
Yeah, well, we were doing the same, getting the RV winterized and doing some rearranging, getting the studio set up here in a temporary space, and I watched a whole week go by with temperatures in the upper 60s. I was like, oh dear God, make this stop. So this weekend it's going to be back in the 60s for a little while here in Colorado. You better believe I'm going out. Oh man.
Yeah. I was trying to work out a trip to Colorado.
Yes.
And I know a good dealership that rents motorcycles. So if I could work that out, that'd be awesome. But Craig said we should do a show from BRL in Daytona. I agree with him, by the way.
Oh, hey. What I'd like to do, and I'm going to already, so you guys are aware, I already have reached out to American Flat Track and AMA Pro Racing and Moto America so that Indian Rider Radio can cover those like I did with some of the events last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a ton of fun if I can do that. And hopefully by then, this other product that I want to create that is more racing specific should be ready. So I'm really excited about going for that event, if nothing else.
So anybody watch basketball around here? No?
A little basketball. Sure.
That show with Shaq and Charles Barkley and those guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it happens before the game, sometimes after the game, sometimes at halftime. That should be our show.
Why is that not our show?
But for Bagger Racing League.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Like we can get a little like setup. We can have some wireless mics.
Okay.
I'm down. I mean, think about that.
Just show up and go do it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you got to connect your contacts high up over here, top shelf Curtis.
I'll guarantee you that this
don't tell him I'm even coming.
Larry is better equipped to wade through the media mire than I am with those.
You and Larry are the connection. I don't know what the hell. I don't know. I'm just riding y'all's coattails. I told you this before that I'm good with it, but you guys get me the thing that says press. Okay. The thing that says press. Yeah. And I want to do
matter how you get it, right?
Okay. What you guys got to do for me to get it.
Whoa.
Like how much do y'all love me? Larry over in the back.
I'm trying to define that.
$20 is $20, I guess, whatever. No, Kevin. I'm sorry. Was it Kevin who made that comment? Who was?
No, Craig.
Craig. Yeah, that is actually the plan, man. That's actually how we all got this conversation started.
We started talking about racing. We want to go to all those races, flat track racing. Exactly. We want to do Bagger Racing League. I want to hit Moto America. That's what I want. That's really, if I can make that happen, that's what I'd like to do. And then after that, you just kind of catch me where you catch me.
Well, and this year, for me, after last year getting to cover one of each of those events, I had plans to do a couple. I did a King of the Baggers event, and I did a American Flat Track race. And I really had a lot of fun covering the pit and the paddock and talking to people and meeting people involved with the venues and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do a couple more of those this year, but we got to start someplace. And my God, they're bringing baggers to the high banks of Daytona. I need to see this firsthand. I need to witness this.
Well, I have been planning on going regardless. Everybody, I think I've made that pretty clear. But the fact that the three of us might get to go and make a show out of it.
We can make a show out of it. Yeah,
make a fucking show. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
I really want to see. I got to see Shayna Texter. What's her new?
Shayna Texter Bauman.
Bauman, that Shayna Texter Bauman. I got to see her race flat track in Daytona last year.
Yeah.
And holy crap. First of all, she can ride.
Yeah, she can.
I mean, she kicked ass. She won it. I mean, it was so much fun to watch her race. And I really want to see these King of the Baggers, which they're coming to Minnesota. So,
Right.
Larry, we're going to that.
Oh yeah,
What is it in Brainerd, Minnesota?
yeah.
Brainerd,
It's
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
I think it's the week before Sturgis.
Oh,
Okay. Well, there
right
you
on
go.
time. Look at that.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Outstanding.
So what you
Okay.
do, Curtis, is you take your RV to wherever you're going to Sturgis, leave it there,
Right.
jump on your bike and ride over here. You can just stay at
Oh.
my place.
Yeah, that's how
It's
that
like
works.
it's like a couple hours north of the Twin Cities
Yeah,
too. So
Yeah,
it's not.
too.
Yeah, it's like it's really a nice ride.
Okay. All right. So Ricky, whoa. Yeah, talk to me about this here. Ricky.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking of going to Daytona too. Would be awesome to finally meet y'all in person. Well, Ricky, that would be cool.
Somebody's
as
going
hell,
to
man.
jail. The four of us together, five of us, six of us, Big Gabe,
Oh,
Kevin.
look at-
Oh,
oh,
man,
yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
going to jail.
Okay, so
Damn
first
it.
things first, before we even go out, everybody just throws in 100 go for bail. I mean, we just have that's the backup. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
Hang on, I'll put the $5 in the bail fund
Right.
instead of the cam.
Yeah, don't put it on the bike because they'll impound the bike too. You have to hide it someplace else. Don't you do that.
Ricky, man, I can't wait till the day I get to meet you. I feel
That'd be a
we've
blast.
talked, he's been on the show.
Yeah.
You know, we've text him, Instagram message, whatever. So it will be cool to finally like get to meet him up. I got to meet sorry, I'll answer that later. My big money fantasy co-manager is calling me. Seriously, I'm in some big football fantasy stuff. So
Are you now?
might have to start counting that down a little. But yeah, it's it'll be good to meet you. No, sorry, it was just super important. You guys, I don't know. Not that this isn't important. This is super fucking important too.
Right. You're
Yeah,
talking about wagering. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I'll take the $5. I'll put it in the bail fund.
Yeah.
And
do that.
put Ricky's name on that one because I heard he's trouble.
Oh, is he stir the pot? Good. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ricky, we're gonna
I
be
don't-
just
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You and I are gonna hang out.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited. And Ricky, we're planning on flying all the wives in. I don't know if they're all gonna show, but that's kind of the plan. So
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm come on, guys. I mean, think about it.
Who
Again,
would be-
I
there's only a
just
few
say it
people
out loud
watching.
every time. You know, a YouTuber, a blogger, and a podcaster walk into a fill in the blank. Comedy writes itself. Done.
So,
It's
so
easy.
out of
And
the
when they
people
see
watch,
the three of us together, when they finally see the three of us together, they will realize that this too is as comedic as it gets, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
who watching would be interested? I mean, if I vlogged, say I vlogged the whole thing, seriously, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, after the gummies, well, you know, whatever. Like that's what I want to do. I want to vlog it. I want to, you know, loading our bikes up in March could be
Right.
interesting in itself. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry, you know, it could be 0 degrees, or we could have like 30 inches of snow on the ground.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, it might be a shit show. So, yeah.
Which again could be all the fun all by itself. Ewan's all in. Look at this. Ewan McCormick didn't waste any time. He said yes immediately. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see how it is, you guys. But the idea being that I could bring the RV out there, you know, have my bike in the RV, grab my trailer, come out there. You guys can load up and it just, you know, chronicle the whole thing on the way down. And then I know I'm going to be hanging out at the racetrack. Then we're going to go down. I just want to do man on the street stuff. You know, I just want to go around and talk to people this
Yeah.
year.
I don't
I
really
don't
want
want to
to.
be bound down or tied up to someplace. I just want to walk around.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if somebody wants to meet me, come find me. I'll share my
Right.
location
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Like I'll do something like stupid like that, or you know, whatever. I'll be like, here's my GPS, come find me. Let's see what up, dab it up, get a drink, whatever.
Sure.
But I don't necessarily want to be like, hey, I'm gonna be at Daytona Indian Motorcycle all day. I don't think I want to do that.
No, we got to roam. We have to be free.
Yeah, especially if we have our bikes and then you know we're gonna have to do some test rides, like
Oh man.
you know,
Yep.
not like what if they had something new, like a Pursuit.
Speaking of test rides, has anybody else besides myself fallen automatically over the top in love with the V100 from Moto Guzzi now? Have you seen this thing?
No.
Oh,
What year was it? No, I'm just kidding.
brand new.
1973.
See this? And I consider him one of my friends.
And I wonder why you didn't
He
bring
used
us
to
in
like
a
me. I don't know what
headset.
the hell's about. No, I mean this bike that just came out from Moto Guzzi, it's a 100th anniversary kind of thing. But the beauty of this bike is it's super simple yet laden with tech, and it's just it's got a super clean look. It's got a lot of power.
What's
The
it called? The
review,
Moto Guzzi
the
1000 what?
V100, yeah, the
Oh,
V100,
V100.
yeah, brand new.
I'm looking it up.
It's a sports standard. It's a new version of the sports standard. It's a really cool bike. These guys
Ooh.
are watching TV. Look at
That looks
Uh-huh.
like the
yeah,
it reminds me of the old V-Strom.
a little bit, huh? A
It's
little
got
bit.
that similar stance, but
Yeah.
oh my goodness, what 1042, huh? Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
And Olean's smart. Oh man. Have you guys heard about that new Olean suspension? The full
No.
electronic suspension?
I just got something about it sent to me from
Oh,
somebody. I don't even know who it was, but thank you, whoever you were that sent that. Tell me more, because this thing looks like it's bizarre. I mean, it looks awesome.
it basically, the new Olean suspension is all electronic.
Mhm.
So hopefully we see it on our brand coming
Yeah.
soon. But you press a button and you can set it for like 1, 2, or 3 for suspension,
Mhm.
or you can set it to automatic and it starts reading the road conditions and will set the
Oh.
suspension based on how you're riding in the road conditions.
Isn't that similar to the one that's on the Challenger for the Jack Daniels? I think that is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. So we now know that something similar is in our backyard already. Okay, good. Okay.
And
Yeah, I mean I told you guys that's a game changer. I don't know. I think that's awesome.
so, speaking of game changers, I want to ask you guys about this because I had a really long conversation with one of the guys at the dealership about this.
Okay.
So Indians doing performance baggers, Harley's talking about their performance bagger. Performance bagger is a thing now.
Right. Yeah.
So I've seen this on other motorcycles. BMW has it. The Yamaha I'm looking at has it. Up and down quick shifter, clutchless quick shifter.
Oh yeah.
Does it seem like we should be at that stage with performance baggers where that should just be kind of a thing, where we don't have to worry about pulling the clutch? We just boom, boom, boom. We can hit through the gears.
I'm not sure why they don't. I know a company makes them for the FTR. You can get it
Okay.
for the FTR. But I don't know. It seems like everybody else has it. Yeah, probably. How much more could it be? I mean, seriously.
Well, but I'm going to sound like the old guy. I mean, part of the experience of a performance bagger is to have that kind of manual tactile connection to it, right?
Yeah, but you can still clutch. It doesn't eliminate the clutch. It's just like an option.
The speed shifter option. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the automatic transmissions in sports cars, where you can put it in manual and you can paddle shift. Or you can put it back in automatic and let it do its job. I think it's the opposite of that. Like it's manual unless you don't want it to be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. I believe that's right. I have actually have not rode one with that.
So that was another thing with the MT-09 that just made me giggle.
So
it has. Wait a minute. What? Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But I think with a performance bagger, you were talking earlier about going to the track, right? Doing a drag racing.
Yeah.
Like that totally makes sense. If you don't have to take that, third of a second, whatever it is, to pull the clutch and think about it,
right?
That could pull between the 3 or 4 shifts that you got to make. That could pull half a second off your time.
Oh, absolutely. And for these guys that are serious about that kind of thing, it's the only way to go. I mean, and it has been for a long time, especially in that discipline. Now you're seeing in other places coming along too. For example, the bikes that these guys ride in AFT, they don't just spend all day in the clutch. They can move that thing back and forth all the time because the bike has to be that much more responsive. It just has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, every time you see the development of something like that or I mean, it's been around a long time, but you get to that place where it's kind of perfected and you can drop it into other things. And now's the time, man. I mean, now is the time, because half of what a lot of the manufacturers are looking at is making it easier to ride, whatever it is, whether it's GPS or whether it's, a lean angle sensors or AB, or tire pressure monitor systems, whatever. They're trying to make the experience more comfortable as a whole. And if you can make it easier too, guess what? You can ride safer.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Craig says DynoJet made one for the Challenger that worked with the Power Commander 5. I tried it, but it never worked. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I ever even heard of a quick shifter for the Challenger. Doesn't mean it didn't exist, but I don't think I've seen it.
Well, there's been, I don't think I've seen it either, but there's companies like Recluse Clutches and a variety of others that have been making either, clutchless or more automatic type transmissions too, that you'll see some of that trickle down to the racing and the shiftability of these bikes over time.
What have we seen on King of the Baggers? You would think that they would have it. If it exists, they would have it, right?
Yeah, I would say it does.
I don't remember seeing them.
I would say it does.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing Tyler O'Hara clutching that shit. So then again, you could jam shift him too. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If you're upshifting, you just jam shift it. It's really the downshifting that makes a huge difference.
He's not the least bit afraid of being hard on equipment. Break shit.
I mean, he's got to time that shit. Just get up there in the RPMs. All right, we're giving you guys an hour and a half. Do you guys want to keep going? If so, I'm going to have to tag out for a little while. I got to make a couple phone calls.
No, I got to rock and roll too. And he's got money at stake, so I'm not going to let him sit around. But let me plug a couple of things real quick. Alligator Bob Martin. Last year, we gave away his ProPad insert for your seat. Okay, if you haven't checked it out, Advanced Custom Design or Alligator Bob Martin. Search him on Facebook. You can't miss it. We're doing that again. We are going to give away a ProPad. All I need is a picture of your seat. Well, you and your seat.
Did you get mine?
You entered to win, huh? I always got yours.
Funny, it never won.
Once a week. Yeah. So that's all you have to do. Go online, send it to me through our Facebook page or whatever, or no matter what, we'll get you hooked up. That's coming. I'm going to talk to a gentleman tomorrow morning who has been a moto journalist, a professional racer, holds a record for the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, but now has written a children's book about motorcycling. And Rennie is his name, and I'm going to introduce you guys to him. The book is like $18 on Amazon. I already ordered one for my grandson. It's great stuff, and I'm going to really enjoy talking to him. And
I'll order one for Menno for sure.
There you go. By all means.
Yeah.
It's last chance to. Friday night, midnight, we shut off all the entries. If you want to listen to the new podcast episode and have a shot at winning that new SNS Cycle high flow intake filter, you can do that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
There, I'm done.
It was a good interview.
You like it?
Wait, I'm going to preach to everybody. Not preach. I'm going to hit you up in front of everybody.
What's that?
Next time you have one of these guys on, I want to be a co-host. And so I can just come in at the end and I'll ask a couple hey, you mentioned a 112 kit. What's going on with that? Let him shoot me down. Just let him, we can't talk about that. I didn't mean to say 112. I'm just saying, I understand, you have to be all professional, but be like, hey, we got bottom shelf fish over here. And got top shelf Curtis and bottom shelf fish. I'll ask them questions.
You're not the only one who asked me about that. When Tyler O'Hara was on and he said, well, we were running the 112. Harley was allowed to run the 131. Everybody went, wait, what? We thought
I sent you a text. I sent you a text within the hour.
Within the hour. Yeah.
As soon as I was like, dude, you just glossed over this. You can't gloss over this conversation.
Because I couldn't say anything about it.
Well, you ask him and then you make him say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
No.
See, that's
why I follow up then with guys from SNS and talk to them so I don't step on my own dick. It's basically
not all of us are that lucky. I can stomp around all day. I will not worry about that. All right. Larry, what do you got going on?
The expression, but you get the idea.
Yeah, well, Larry, we don't need to talk about you. We know you can't stomp. He's over here trying to rain dance, put himself in the hospital.
Yeah.
What do you got going on at V-Tone Blog?
Just a simple weekly post, man. And as we talked about earlier, trying to figure out what can happen for Daytona. So
the three of us are going to work off air with each other. We're going to try to make it once we start getting our information. all three of us are going to be very open and loud about where we're going to be, what we're doing, and we will all three want to hook up with everybody.
Right. So if you're somebody who wants to like support us, like sponsor our trip, throw a little money at us, we'll make sure you get mentioned in three separate places.
Yeah.
And likewise too, if you guys want to hang out with us, I know Kevin did. Kevin can tell you.
He's going to be a
not
hostage
a bad time.
He's just a hostage again this year. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think Kevin's coming. He doesn't even know how hard he has to come, but he's coming. And then Big Gabe, he took a year off. That fool, we rode so much in 2020 that he couldn't handle me in 2021. So I think he's ready to rock 22. So I'm hoping to get these guys. I don't know if they're going to make it to Daytona. I think, the three of us for sure, but for sure they're going to Sturgis, but I'm looking forward to it. And I guess that's it. Hey, you guys want to do me a favor? Go to trustnooneclothing.com, buy yourself a hat or a t-shirt. Put Riding Fish as a discount code. Just help another motorcyclist and small business out. And then he always helps me out. So I'm just shouting it out there, to be honest. So that's all I got, guys. That's all I got.
All right. So we have until the first weekend in March to figure out how we're all going to get there so that I can get to Minnesota in time to take you guys out. Even if there's a snowstorm, we're going.
I'd like to have it planned out by the end of January because we also got to look at Airbnbs. We're all just going to get one big ass party house. I mean, place to crash.
Well, yeah, with a long driveway. Yeah, with a long driveway to park the RV. So
the RV.
We're not gonna post that address because there might be gummies.
No, there will be gummies and there will be video. Yeah,
I could pick y'all up, put y'all on the couch.
Larry, you talk about the gummies, okay? You remember? You remember I live in Colorado, right?
Oh,
yeah,
my man.
And the other day, I finally had to ask the guy. I was in line in the grocery store, and this poor guy somehow could not figure out how to make the card reader, the button pushing thing all work. All right. Okay. So finally, when he got all done, I'm through the line in a relative hurry. He's still finding his way out of the store. And as I walk up, I said, I just got to know, just how baked are you? And he said, I am 4 gummies into what should only be 3. Nice. Okay. Yes, so you run into these people randomly here now in Colorado doing in that position, in that condition. So anyway, hey, speaking of which, can I plug that really quick too? Something else we got going on? Yes. Durango Rendezvous is coming up in June.
I'm going to be in Maggie Valley.
I know. He's in Maggie Valley. I'm going to be in Durango.
If you don't want to go to Durango, come to Maggie Valley. It's like a competition.
He's a dick.
You want to be top shelf or bottom shelf?
Since when is this county jail? What happened? What the hell just happened? I don't even understand. No, we're going to have some fun at Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle June 10th through the 14th before the Durango Rendezvous. We're going to take a ride up Pikes Peak. We're going to have access to some really cool stuff going on. So we'd like to have you guys start thinking about that too, coming out in June. See us out here.
Yeah, that is actually the Durango Rendezvous seems amazing. I know guys here from Minnesota, out of Bison that are going to be going.
Oh, right on.
But good. Yeah, I am really going to go down to Maggie Valley. I think I told you, Larry. I think I told you about that.
Oh man, yeah.
So yeah, I actually tried to get Curtis to go, but I didn't realize the dates conflicted so much. But I've already booked. I'm ready to rock. So I've already reached out to I reached out to a few people to come on down. So.
Right on.
Just because you get Brian Remington from Two Indians,
he's coming to Durango, and I'm going to be the MC at the banquet dinner that night on Thursday, the 16th.
Do they allow you to burn your underwear at Durango?
No,
just outside the city limits. I don't think there's any restriction at all.
No, that shit's top shelf over there. Top shelf. If you have to ask, can't afford it.
You know how I get down. You know.
We let you slip over. I think it's pretty much universally allowed in New Mexico, which is not far away. You can.
How about regular Mexico? January. All right. How about we round through this, guys? We're going to end this.
All right.
Only because I gotta go. Right. So I love you guys.
All right. Take care, Fish. Thanks, guys, for having us.
Yep. See you later. Hey guys, seriously, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hate to like end it like I always like on a hit, but I really do got a couple things I have to hit up, and I have time restrictions for that. We gave you guys an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate it. All you guys watching, I am happy to have you guys here. You guys are all my friends. Like seriously, most of these guys, I'm looking at the comments. You guys are like all my boys. Mark, thanks for the what's going to be the now bell money. So appreciate that. And I'm going to end this like I always do. Ride hard, ride fast. Say hi to somebody you don't know. Peace.